Okay, basically they're asking you which reaction cannot be carried out in a single step. So the keyword is a single step. So what I want to do is, can you tell me the name of all the different reactions that is shown in the option? What is the name given to reaction number 1? Fermentation. Ethanol to ethanol acid is called what? Oxidation. What do you use to carry out oxidation of alcohol? Using? Something is in front of potassium manganate 7. Start with A. Acidify. If this is not acidify, it's not going to work. Okay? So, reaction A is oxidation of ethanol using your acidified potassium manganate solution, and you form your ethanol acid. Okay, what is the name given to the second reaction? Ethanol to propanol. My question to you all is, did I ever teach you from one alcohol can change to another alcohol? No. So did you all learn this? No. So this one probably not the answer lah. Okay, what is reaction E? C? This one is not fermentation. This one? Fermentation is D. When you use glucose, this is where your fermentation is. This is fermentation of glucose. What is reaction C then? You add, this is addition reaction with steam, which is not in the syllabus. Okay, what I want to tell you is, how do I know whether the reaction can take place in a single step? Part D is quite straightforward because it's fermentation. It takes place in one step. The rest, if you are looking at substitution reaction, addition reaction, oxidation reaction, the number of carbon atoms cannot change. The moment the number of carbon atom changes, you need more than one step. So if you look at the prefix of your name, ethanoic acid comes from ethanol. Ethene forms your ethanol. So the only one that's odd one out is actually your ethanol to your propanol. This one is more than one step because you need to add number of carbon to this. Okay, so you need to take note. Alright? Okay, look at question 3. I am just going to focus on the structure. I think you can answer most of the question there. Okay, look at your diagram D. So I'm going to ask you, describe tests that you can differentiate between the presence of the different functional group. Okay, I repeat myself. Can you describe me tests that allows you to differentiate the functional group present in the molecule? Okay, so you can see that you have a carbon-carbon double covalent bond here. How do you test for the presence of carbon-carbon double covalent bond? You have to test it using aqueous bromine. What? Colorless? Not complete. Reddish brown. You must tell me you have your reddish brown aqueous bromine turning colorless. So when you describe the test, you must be able to give the observation. So reddish brown aqueous bromine turn colorless. What's another term for turn colorless? Decolorizer. So either term you use is correct. Okay, so you settle the part for carbon-carbon double covalent bond. What's the name given to this type of compound? The compound that comes with a carbon-carbon double covalent bond, what is the name given to this compound? Saturated, unsaturated. Carbon-carbon double covalent bond is unsaturated. Okay, then tell me how you identify this. Yeah, what do you react with? Yeah, so for this, you can actually react with metal, with reactive metal, or metal carbonate. What are you expecting to see? I cannot see carbon dioxide gas, or carbon dioxide gas surrounding you, but I cannot see. Huh? Salt? How do you know there's a salt form? They are all solution. Bubbles of colorless gas. So for reaction involving this, you are going to see bubbles of colorless gas form. Okay, I'm going to ask you, can I use metal oxide and metal hydroxide? No. They also react with acid. How come cannot? Can I react this with metal oxide and metal hydroxide? Since it's an acid. Why and why not? They don't form any gases. So when you have a reaction that doesn't produce a gas, it doesn't tell you whether the reaction is taking place or not. So you have to use something that produces a gas so that you can give the observation. Can? Okay, one more. The molecule on top. Oh, by the way, what do you name this functional group? This is not your carboxylic acid. This is your carboxyl functional group. I'm asking you to name me my functional group. This one, you label as carbon-carbon double covalent bond. Hey, please make sure you all know all this, That's the name of the functional group. Yeah, this is the name of the functional group. So do not tell me it's a carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is the name of the homologous series. Alkene is the name of the homologous series. But I'm asking you for the name of the functional group. Okay, you got one more over here. What is the name for this functional group? It's not alcohol. Alcohol is the name of the family. Start with H. Hydroxyl functional group. Okay, how to test for presence of this functional group? You are going to use acidify. Okay, good. So test using your acidified potassium manganate 7. Make sure you all remember the bracket 7 where you're writing out in names. Also remember now cannot use chemical formula in your description. Okay, observation. Test must come with observation so that they know you carry out it correctly. Purple, turn colorless, good. Okay, so purple acidify potassium manganate solution turns colorless. If you don't want to write turn colorless, you can say decolorize. Okay? Then how do I test for presence of alkane? Because you learned 4 family, right? Alkane, alkene, alcohol, carboxylic acid. So I went through how you test for the presence of functional group for alkane, alcohol, and carboxylic acid. What if I give you bromination is for alkene? What is the only reaction alkane undergo? Substitution. So you have to carry out substitution reaction. But I realize that this type of question is pretty not common. Why? Because all the tests I described here can be carried out in the lab. You will not be able to carry out your substitution reaction in the lab because you need your UV light. Okay, so even for that, what observation can you make for substitution reaction? They are all colorless. But they are all in gaseous state. How you see that? Because you are reacting with a halogen that is in gaseous state. So most of the time, if they ask you to test for presence of functional group, it revolves around these 3 homologous series. Not so much about your alkane. Okay, so these are things you need to be careful with. Okay? Okay, So this is for your question number 3. Just to run through some of the key concepts that you have went through earlier. Okay, look at question 7. You are asked to talk about the different statements that revolve around alcohol. Ethanol is a form of alcohol. Okay, and alcohol are actually good fuel, so it's usually used as alternative fuels for car. Okay, it burns completely to produce carbon monoxide and water. What's wrong with this statement? If it's not carbon monoxide, what should we be getting? Carbon dioxide, because of the word completely. So with that, A and B is out. It belongs to a homologous series called alcohol, yes. like what I mentioned earlier. It contains a C double bond O. So if you're not sure, right, what you can do is you draw out the molecule itself. Just draw out. Wherever you cannot understand, draw out. Got C double bond O? Don't have. This one belongs to your carboxylic acid. So it's not present here. So 3 is out. Okay, so if I cross out one more option, I cross out C. This is why your answer is D. So alcohol undergoes oxidation when you react it with your acidified potassium manganate 7. Okay?